Yeah, welcome back again. Okay, so what exactly we learned in the previous lecture? Okay, so definitely we'll enjoy that because we know that day-to-day life, how this fluid mechanics plays a very important role. Okay, now as part of your syllabus, what exactly we are going to see that I'll be dealing in this particular slides here. Now, to start with, so this is the syllabus. This is the syllabus. Okay, let me just okay, all right. Now to start with, first of all, what exactly we'll be studying in Unit 1, the basic concepts and definitions. Now that is, what is fluid and solid? I already explained with a clear figures. That is, what is the basic difference between a solid and fluid? So in general, the solid is one which occupies very less volume. Okay, and obviously fluid is one which occupies a little bit more volume and takes the shape of the vessel or container. Okay, so don't worry about the solid because we will be now dealing only with fluid mechanics. Now once I said if you are dealing with fluid mechanics, the second part is you are dealing with the different properties of fluids. So what is the property? Now see, I said it's a pressure, temperature, okay, volume, all these things are nothing but your properties. Okay, now these things like density, specific weight, that is the weight of the fluid, and specific gravity, viscosity, and all these things, vapor pressure, boiling point. That means once if you have a water, you keep on giving the temperature. After 100 you won't see any water in the vessel because after 100 it starts boiling, and after it will keep on sustaining that flame, that entire water you won't be seeing in the vessel because it will evaporate, and it will just convert into vapor. It will just convert into vapor and will goes out. Okay, that's called as a boiling point. It's one of the very important point for a fluid. Then you have something called as surface tension, capillarity, bulk modulus of elasticity, compressibility. So first unit deals with entirely about the properties of fluids. So starting from your density, that is a mass by volume, that's the density of a fluid. So for a given mass, how much it will occupy the volume, it's called as mass density of a fluid. Like that, you have different properties. And viscosity. The viscosity is one example. You have seen engine oil. You might have heard about that. So those who 2T oil, something they'll say no. So that oil, if you just observe, it will be like a very sticky nature. It won't be like a water. Now I'll give some example. You have coconut oil, you have grease. You might have seen grease or some sort of 2T oil or engine oils. So you will find the difference between these coconut oil and other oils. So the other oils you see, it will be a very thick one, and the coconut oil is very thin one. So that difference between the coconut oil as well as the engine oils or 2T oils or 4T oils, whatever you say, that's because they have property called as viscosity. So we'll discuss in detail about those properties in your first unit. And at the end of the first unit, what will happen? So you will be in a position to just explain what are the different properties of fluids. Then you'll be in a position to learn about or to tell about a law called as Newton's law of viscosity. Okay, so that's about your first unit. And coming to the second unit, I'll be dealing the things called as fluid statics. As I said, the fluid mechanics basically will be divided into two parts. One is fluid statics and fluid dynamics. Dynamics has kinematics and kinetics. So fluid statics, first I'll deal with, where I'll be dealing with the fluid pressure. As I said in the starting class itself, the fluid pressure is very important point because as I said, the overhead tank example, where the water flows to the kitchen or bathrooms and whatever the places, just because of the pressure difference. Okay, so that's the pressure difference what you create, automatically water will flow. Okay, right. Now that pressure, regarding pressure, I am going to discuss, and based upon that, first I'll deal with the Pascal's law of pressures, then how the pressure will be varying with respect to the temperature. Suppose the temperature, if a temperature changes, is there any change in the fluid pressure that I am going to observe? Then I'll be dealing some pressure measuring devices which are called as manometers and pressure gauges. I think manometers, will discuss it afterwards, and pressure gauges, I think everybody might have seen in the, suppose if you go for what you called as a cycle shop to fill the air for your tubes. Normally what happens, if you go for a bike, that fellow, he'll keep air from the compressor, and he will check one more small tube which indicates 30, 33 something, a small tube with a small dial, a small gauge that indicates that the inside pressure of the tube must be only 33 bar or centimeter, something like that. So that pressure gauge to measure the pressure. Okay. So I'll be dealing about entirely pressure and pressure measurement by in the first part. Then I'll go for the hydrostatic pressure. Hydro here indicates only water. So fluid may be water, maybe gas, maybe vapor. But if I have a term called as hydrostatics, fluid statics may be gas or maybe vapor, but hydrostatics, hydro means it's only water. So hydrology, hydraulics, nothing but water science, water. So hydrostatic pressure and force. So this is only dealing with the water. So the example, what and all we are going to study here, that is a buoyancy and stability. As I already explained, and I discussed with somebody, that is the Archimedes principle or buoyancy, how I can float a body on the water. Like example, the ship I have shown in the earlier class, or boats I can able to float on the water. So that's purely by means of this particular analysis, that is buoyancy and stability. Okay. So once you learn about these things, and you must be in a position to tell different concepts of fluid statics. So whenever the liquid or fluid is at rest, what and all the properties are, how it behaves. Okay. Then what are the different equipment to measure the pressure? That's the applications of pressure measurement, like gauges, what I said. And finally, stability of floating bodies. That's what I discussed in the second part. Okay. Now that's about the unit 2. Now what about third unit here? See, I'll be dealing entirely with the kinematics. So previously is the statics. Now I came to dynamics, where the first part is fluid kinematics, where I don't worry about the what are the forces causing the fluid to move, but I'll be just studying about the fluid motion. So there you will be starting with what are the different types of fluid flow, like steady, unsteady, uniform, non-uniform. So everything we are going to discuss. Okay. Then there are some different concepts which is called as streamline, path line. That is depends upon how the particles of fluid moves and what way it will form. That's called as a path line, streak line. We'll discuss everything. Then we have something two-dimensional, three-dimensional continuity equation. So everything we'll discuss. Okay. So after the particular unit, you'll be in a position to discuss or to tell about the fluid kinematics and what is the fluid kinematics. Okay. Now, next part will be fluid dynamics. The unit 4 will be dealing with dynamics. Now, I'll be considering the forces. What is the force which is causing the fluid to move? That also I'll be taking care of. Then I have to study about all these things, that is Bernoulli's equation, energy principle. Okay. And once you study about this dynamics, and I have to worry about the what is the force which is causing. Okay. Then I have to study about the applications of the Bernoulli's equation. We'll discuss everything, that is venturi meter, orifice meter, pitot tube, etc. All these things are applications. Okay. And this particular thing what I have shown here, we'll be discussing about the application. Then what will happen if one fluid starts moving, suddenly there is a bend, that's a pipe bend, etc. And vortex flow, everything I'll come to this once I start going. Okay. Now after that I'll be discussing some numbers or dimensionless numbers. That is, you might have studied about units and dimensions in your physics classes. Now this part is dimensionless, means these numbers doesn't have any dimensions. Like pressure, you have dimension, you have velocity, meters per second, pressure, newtons per meter square. Like this, you have some dimension. But here for these numbers, you don't have any dimension. So that numbers, how, what is the significance, we'll study this. Okay. So that's what we are going to learn in your unit 4. Now, when you come to the 5th unit, now, once you aware of everything about fluid statics, fluid dynamics, fluid kinematics, etc., now I'll be discussing about the energy or pipes, because the pipes are the main devices most of the times which carries fluids. Either it may be a gas pipe or it may be a water pipe, etc. The once it starts moving, water starts moving in a pipe, what will happen? What are the losses? Okay, so I'll discuss what are the losses means. What is the, because that pipe which is carrying that fluid, assume that has some energy. Okay, then if you just leave like that, energy will be losing. Assume that I have some energy of 10 units. Now by the end of the pipe you will have only 5 units. So where that 5 units has gone, so that may be a certain loss. So that losses I'll be studying about the fluid which is flowing inside the pipe. Okay, so estimation of energy losses and how it will flow once it starts flowing in the pipe. What are the various characteristics of the pipe? So this is about your basics of fluid mechanics for your civil engineering branch. Okay, now coming to the textbooks, let me just see, these are the basic textbooks. And for particularly the civil engineering people, you have Modi and Seth with hydraulics and fluid mechanics. That's the basic book. And one of the important one where you have entire things available, that's the R.K. Bansal. That's the main book. Okay, so which is having a plenty of problems. So you can refer any of the books, doesn't matter. Okay, and follow the classes what I'm taking, and as well as solve the problems along with me, right? So then definitely will enjoy the subject and will be doing well in the subject. Okay, so hope this gives you the textbooks and reference books. Okay, so almost all I think e-copies available, or if I find anything, I'll send you the e-copies or thing, so that you can refer those textbooks also. Okay, until we meet physically in the classroom. Okay, right? So that's about the syllabus, what we are going to learn in this particular semester about fluid mechanics. Okay, so this is the thing. Now, what I'll do now, I'll just take some more examples. Now, just see here, these are some more examples which gives you the examples of your fluid mechanics. So, aerodynamics. Now, might have studied about the airplane moving in the air, which is nothing but the aerodynamics. Okay, so this again comes under your fluid mechanics. So nowadays you can see the specialty of this, because this is the analysis what they will do once airplane starts moving. Now you might have some idea about the Kalpana Chawla incident, where the space shuttle, once if we actually while entering in the air atmosphere, it starts blasting, and blasted actually, and we lost our astronaut. So that's again the mistake what happened, and what is the reason, we'll discuss it afterwards. So that's the space shuttle. You are going to build a space shuttle. Okay, and you see that up to certain level you have atmosphere. After that you won't find any air or pressure of the air. Then how to design your vehicle? Okay, so that's and all thing available. Next you have, you see, buildings. Now this is very important as part of your civil engineering point of view, because you will be discussing your entire civil engineering course about bridges, about hanging bridges, buildings, So you are going to build a building here. So you have to assess the airflow of the building. Okay, and you are building a place where you have very high flow of air, then obviously there is a danger. Okay, unless you have a proper foundation, and the number of floors you are building also, it plays a very important role. Okay, now this is one more like Airbus, etc. All these things are your examples. Now this, you just see this, the right side is what I have given is, the right side what I have given is nothing but a submarine, an actual photo. Okay, so can you guess why the submarine is used? So the submarine is used where you will carry all the what called as arms, like whenever you have war situation. So there will be air strikes, there will be water strikes. So water, if your submarine is one which carries the thing, and it can move inside the water. So obviously, you imagine the sea with full of water, and what is the basic thing here? The sea water has lot of salts involved in it, and you just imagine the pressure or density of the water, and against that particular density or drag or force, you have to move the submarine. This is the submarine or wave power. So this is the fluid mechanics. Then wind power, you just see, I think if you go towards Kerala or some places where you can see turbines like this, like windmills, which are called as windmills. So these are the devices where I can get using, because wind is available freely. Using that wind, if I rotate this fan here or the blades here, automatically I'll obtain electrical energy. So that is the wind power. Wind power. Okay. Now this is the basic thing, and don't worry about that. Right. Now you see our application, biomedical application of fluid mechanics, the human heart. Yes or no? Yeah. So because human heart, you have a blood which is flowing inside the body, and you all aware of nowadays what is meant by heart strokes, what is meant by blood pressure, etc. Okay. So blood pressure, why you say it's a high blood pressure, low blood pressure, and obviously what is, yeah, I think pumping of blood. You might have heard about the echoes. So this all nothing but because again the blood which is flowing inside the body, or different veins or arteries in the body, it plays a very important role where I had to study about the fluid mechanics or blood, how it will behave, how it flows. Okay, and blood is not flowing, there is some blockage. Okay, then obviously what happens, that blockage is because of some fat, right? So then obviously what happens, I have to use a stunt, or I have to go for a bypass surgery. Like that, what happens, I have to clear that so that the blood has to flow very freely to various parts. Otherwise you know what are the complications. So just see, I want to survive. The human heart is a very important pump for us, and it has to pump the blood to various parts of the organs. And again, it's a pure fluid mechanics. Okay. Okay, now these and all the advances, right? Okay, so don't worry about that. So that's the applications what we will have, right? Now what we'll do now, I'll just start the initial thing, that is what is basically the properties, and what is the first property I'll discuss here. Then we'll wind up this session, right? So this is basically one of the very important possible. I'll send it to you, Noko, and it's available right now. I'll just increase it a little bit. Now all of you can be able to see this. Okay, so this is the first property what we are going to see. So there are different properties of fluids. There are different properties of fluids, right? So now we see first one, which is called as a density or mass density. Density or mass density. So what is exactly a definition of a density? You can see it's nothing but mass per unit volume. Mass per unit volume, and it is denoted by a term called as rho. Rho. So rho is a symbol, right? And obviously, in case of your fluid mechanics, the units are very much important, because if you have newtons or kilonewtons in case of a force, kgs or tons, different are there. So if a small unit change will takes you or makes you into trouble. Okay. So first one is the density, which is the ratio of mass of a fluid to the volume of a fluid. So mass of the fluid to the volume of fluid. So the denoted by rho, and what are the units? You see, mass is in kg and volume is in meter cubed. So it will be like a mass is in kg, density is in kg per meter cube. So remember about the unit for density, that's a kg per meter cube. And if it's a water, normally the water will be taken as a standard fluid, and that water is actually has a density of 1000 kg per meter cube. You remember for all your problems or applications of problems where the density of water is always taken as a standard one, that is 1000 kg per meter cube. Okay, so that is about density. So for a given volume, how much is the mass of the fluid, or for a given mass, how much is the volume it will occupy? So that's nothing but your density. Now, the second property is your specific weight, specific weight or weight density, specific weight or weight density. Okay, let me just, yeah. Now see here, what is the difference between the weight and specific weight and weight density? So specific weight or weight density of a fluid is the ratio of weight of a fluid to the volume of the fluid. I think previous thing, it's the mass of the fluid by volume of the fluid. Now it is the ratio of weight of the fluid to the volume of fluid. Now what is the weight of the fluid? You have a mass, and if you multiply by g, where g is acceleration due to gravity, so mg, that is the mass of the fluid into acceleration due to gravity. So that particular thing is called as specific weight or weight density. So specific weight or weight density. So just see the units here. So it's mass of the fluid into g by volume. But what is the mass by volume? It's called as rho. And small w is the one where it denotes the specific weight. It is specific weight equal to density into g, which is acceleration due to gravity. Now, what is specific weight of water now? Can any guess? So specific weight of water is nothing but, yes, specific density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube. Then what is the value of gravity? 9.81. Now, what is the density, specific weight or weight density? It is 9.81 into 1000. So what are the units you can see here? So here mg is nothing but newtons. So the units for the specific weight is newtons per meter cubed. Newtons per meter cube. Okay. So what we studied now, there are two properties. One is nothing but your density. The second one is weight density or specific weight, which are the very, very important properties while solving our problems. Okay. So that is the two properties what we discussed. I think I'll stop with this. Then we'll be continue in the next class with some more properties and the basic problems of your fluid mechanics based upon the properties of fluids. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for joining.